Today's webinar will cover adding activities into setup, meaning setting up your activities for your check-in screen. You will first log into QuikCheK and click on the Setup button, which takes you to this screen. Once you are here, you will click on Check-in Files on the left. Here is your activities setup. Activities are on the first tab. Items we are not going to address, neither are we going to address member issues. But activities are where you're going to set up all of the activities that take place at your facility. Normally when you purchase QuikCheK, General is the only activity that comes with QuikCheK. If you want to add a new activity, you would just click the plus sign to add a new record, check mark to save that record. Let's go ahead and add a new one right now. I'm going to click the plus sign at the top. That adds a new record. The description of this activity can be, let's see, do we have karate in here? We don't have karate, so let's add karate. Now, the code is very important. A code of none means that everyone can use that activity regardless of their membership. If you choose special access, that means that activity has to be purchased in order to get access to that activity. Someone has to purchase a package for karate, whether it's a month-long membership or they get 10 visits or whatever the situation is. They have to purchase this membership or activity separately from all other memberships. We're going to say karate is a special access membership. Check-in default should never be used. That is always set on the general activity, which, by the way, you should never rename general to anything else but possibly fitness, but make sure that you never stray away from general being your check-in default activity. Count required means when I sell this type of activity, am I selling a 5-pack, a 10-pack, a 20-pack, meaning they get 5, 10, or 20 visits, similar to personal training? My personal training activities down here do have a check mark and count required. Karate, we are going to say it's not a count required, but it will require date range so that the person, when they purchase it, they do get a 1-month membership or a 3-month, 6-month, year, or whatever you sell at your facility. Instructor required means if I put a check mark in there, when I check the person in for this particular activity, after I check them in, it will prompt me to select which personal trainer or instructor is the member using for this check-in for today's date. We're not going to use instructor required on this particular activity, but as you can see below, personal training, 30-minute and 60-minute sessions do have instructor required because you want to monitor which instructors perform that particular activity with that member. In the points column, you can enter point values for your activities so that people get points for specific activities, and you can add those points up and give out rewards. You can say karate is worth 3 points every time someone visits, a general visit would be worth 1 point, etc. The scheduled option at the end would determine, is this a scheduled activity? There's a scheduler that comes with QuikCheK, and if you choose scheduled for this particular activity, when you go to the scheduler screen to book appointments for specific activities, only scheduled activities will show up in that list. So if I went to the scheduler right now, I would only be able to make appointments for PT30 and PT60 because none of my other items or activities here are scheduled type of activities. Karate, I am not going to make scheduled either. At the bottom here in the time block area, you can specify when does this activity take place. By default, QuikCheK assigns 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m., so it's 24 hours a day, every day of the week. If it's not available on Saturdays, you can just click Change Time Blocks at the top of the screen. You will see the time blocks come up for this particular activity, and I could say, well, it's not available on Wednesdays or Thursdays, so I'm not going to let anyone in for that. On those 2 days, I click OK, and that's what will be saved. That's basically it for adding activities into setup. Pretty simple to set up. Just the check mark and the plus sign, fill out the appropriate information, and save. Linking, the next step with activities is linking activities to point of sale so that when a person buys a 10-pack of karate, they automatically get that 10-pack on their record, and you do not have to manually type in the number 10. This forces all your employees to purchase something in point of sale to give access to your members. If you do not link activities to point of sale, then your staff can just go into any member's record and give them any number of sessions they want, anytime they want. That's the end of today's lesson. If you need to view this in full screen, press Alt-Enter in Windows Media Player or double-click in the center of the screen and it should turn into a full screen view of this video. Have a great day.